What's goody, YouTube? It's your boy Drizzy here. And as you can see, we're doing some Pokemon content, baby. And that being said, today we're going to be talking about my starter predictions for the 3 new starters in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, those being Sprigato, Quaxly, Fuecoco. And in this video, it's gonna be interesting. There's only one Pokemon I'm really questioning what its type's gonna be, but also I have a prediction of what I think the type reactions in terms of the dual typings is gonna be. With that being said, leave a like if you do enjoy the video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on the bell for post notifications so you don't miss a single video. With that being said, let's get right into it. And we're gonna start off with Quaxly. Seems to be the fan favorite right now. He's the only one that, in terms of design, actually looks pretty decent. Fuecoco is growing on me, but I'm also a fire type nerd, so that's besides the point. I think he is going to be water fighting, and I'm almost certain of it because I genuinely cannot tell you what type it could go into, because it can't go into water flying. The only other type I could think of going into would be water psychic. I don't see it going into water ghost. I just can't see Fuecoco going into anything other than water fighting. The only reason why I say water psychic is because I could see it going into like a punk rocker type thing, or like a musician that can float can float instruments with their mind and stuff like that. I could see that, but I definitely think it's going to go into water fighting, sort of like a cartoonish Popeyes type thing. With that being said, these type combos will be chosen based off of this. Now, I have an interesting prediction. I think it's going to go back to the Gen 4 versions when it comes to dual typings. I think that every single Pokemon is going to be able to do super effective damage to each other in the starting combo, instead of the Gen 6 and 7 route, which is, for example, the Gen 6. An example of Gen 6 and 7 would be Greninja versus Delphox, being Water Dark and Fire Psychic respectively. Delphox can't hit him for super effective damage with Stab. But in Gen 4, Infernape versus Torterra, both sides could hit for super effective stab damage. And the reason why I think this is because, I'm going to be honest, I don't really have a good reasoning for it, but I genuinely think that it's going to be the way that the typings exist. I think that water fighting just makes sense for Quaxly, whereas I also think Grass Dark makes perfect sense for Sprigato. And you're like, whoa, where did Grass Dark come from? I think that Sprigato is going to be bipedal. You gotta think, they always do, I don't know how to word this without coming off as weird. They always do this, always do Pokemon like Lucario, fan favorite Pokemon, stuff like that. And I think that Sprigato is going to be that, in which I think is going to be a bipedal cat with a masquerade mask. Think Personas masks and stuff like that. And it's going to be sitting there holding its mask like, I will hunt you. I will faint you, the opponent's Pokemon. Stuff like that. I think it's going to be really, really cool. He's going to be very edgy. It's going to be some Sasuke vibes. That's what I'm seeing from Sprigato. So, being water fighting and Grass Dark, there's only really 2 type combos that make sense for Fuecoco. Those being Fire Fairy, which I can see it, but that's a little overkill because it does give him another type advantage on top of Sprigato. However, the main type I'm seeing is Fire Electric. I can see Fire Electric happening without a shadow of doubt, because it gives him that type effectiveness over Quaxly. And it also doesn't give him a dual effectiveness over Sprigato. Actually, Sprigato resists electric, meaning that he's not getting a dual benefit at fighting Sprigato. So, those are my predictions of the starters. I knew this video wasn't going to be very long. That's my predictions on the starters and how I think their type reactions are going to work. Please leave a comment below if you think anything different, if you have any other predictions on what the type combos are going to be. But with that being said, I'm out. Peace out.